These next few lessons that we are going to be doing are going to be focused on taking percentages into kind of real world applications related to tax, tip, markup, discounts, commission, and so on. Today we are just going to be looking at tax and tip. So a tax is a percentage of an amount purchased that is added to the original amount. Let's look at an example with this. So Selma purchased a TV for $99 and had a sales tax rate of 7%. So I'm just going to circle those numbers that are given to us. How much money did she spend? So what you have to know is that the sales tax is going to be on the percentage of whatever amount that you are paying. So what we're going to do is we're going to find 7% of $99. I'm going to use a proportion. You don't have to use a proportion. There's lots of different ways to get into the same answer, just as long as you're plugging in the numbers in the correct spot. So if I'm setting this up as a proportion, I know we're talking about percent, so it's out of 100. I know this percentage is 7%. And I know that the amount, the total of the TV is $99. We are solving for the tax. We want to know how much the tax is. So now I have a percent proportion that I can solve. So I'm going to do 99 times 7, which equals 693, dividing by the number in the same diagonal as the variable, equals 6.93. So that tells me my tax is $6.93. So when we're finding our total amount that she's spending, we're doing the $99 for the TV plus the $6.93. Which equals $105.93. One thing to note is that you could technically do this as one step. Sometimes people like to kind of skip ahead and do it that way, which is fine. You just got to be careful later on when we do multi-step problems. So you could look at this and say, okay, the cost is $99. We are solving for the amount. If we know that 7% sales tax is being added, and this equals 100%, we can just add the 7 to the 100 and say that this final price is going to be 107% of the original amount. So both of those would get you to the same answer. Tip. So tip is a percentage of an amount purchased usually when dining in a restaurant, or maybe when you are in a taxi cab, or you had someone cut your hair, and then it's given to that person. So this amount can be added, again, just like we did before, to the original amount to determine the total amount paid. One thing to note, and I'm going to have you write this in here, put a little star, tip is on the pre-tax amount. And we'll probably get to some of that a little bit later. But that is an important thing where people make mistakes. So let's look at this example. Susan gave a 15% tip to the waiter. Her meal cost $12.50. How much tip did the waiter receive? So again, you don't have to use a proportion. I am going to. So I know we're talking about percentages. I'm going to circle the numbers given to me. So 15% goes above the 100. The meal cost, the $12.50, is our total, our whole. We are solving for what is the tip going to be. So we have our percent proportion set up that we can solve. 1250 times 15 equals 187.50 divided by 100 equals 1.875, which would be about 1.88. So our tip is $1.88. So when we're finding our total cost, we're going to take our cost of the meal, $12.50, plus our tip, $1.88, which equals $14.38. So just note that your answers might be slightly off, maybe a penny here, a penny there. As long as it's close enough, it's only like 1 or 2 cents off, you'll be fine, it'll be accepted. Now let's look at some problems where we're doing tip and tax together. That's where it's going to become important to remember that tip is on the pre-tax amount. So in order to do a multi-step problem involving tip and tax, you must always go back to the original amount. So that is important. You must always go back to the original amount. Find the tax using the total and find the tip using that total. Then add them all together. So you ate at your favorite restaurant with your friend. Your bill before tax was $35.60. You decided you were going to leave a 20% tip, and the tax percentage in the area is 7.25%. Find the total cost of your bill after including the tax and the tip. So, finding the tip amount, okay? What is important again is this is on the original amount, the $35.60. It's not on that amount plus the tax. So when I'm setting up my blank proportion, we know we are doing 20% of our total $35.60. We want to calculate what that amount is. So we've got our percent proportion. I'm going to multiply 3560 times 20, which equals 712, divided by 100 equals $7.12. Okay, so now same thing, we're finding the tax. Again, it's on that original amount. So I'm setting up my blank proportion, 7.25% above the 100, and our total is still the $35.60. I'm not adding in the tip and then doing the tax, just like I don't do the tax first before the tip. They both have to be on that original amount. I'm just going to say it again because people are going to make that mistake. It's both on that same amount. Now we've got our blank proportion set up that we can solve. So I'm going to multiply 3560 times 725, which equals 258.1. And then I'm dividing by the number in the same diagonal as the variable, so dividing by 100 equals 2.581, which rounded is about $2.58. So now, when we are finding our total amount, we are taking our tax, we're taking our tip, and the original amount. So $35.60 plus our tax of $2.58 plus our tip of $7.12, which is going to give us a total amount of 45.3. Since we are talking about money, we don't say I have $45.3. No, it's 0.3030. So add in that 0 afterwards. Again, if you wanted to do this in one step, you could. You just got to be careful, which is why we kind of teach it in the 2 steps. But we could say again, our original amount is $35.60. We're solving for our end cost. Since they both are on that same original amount, you could do it as one step and say, okay, I have 100% as my meal, plus 20% for the tip, plus 7.25 would be a total of 127.25. And you could solve that and you should still get the same answer. But if you're not totally understanding that, stay with this step where you're doing it one by one. Oops. Number 1, sorry about that. It's the sales tax rate for your community is 8.75%. If you purchase an item that costs $500, how much will you pay in sales tax? So I'm going to circle those numbers. 8.75%, $500. This is just asking us to figure out how much are we paying in sales tax. So, filling out my proportion, we're looking at 8.75%. $500 is our total. What would be the sales tax for that? Highlighting my diagonals. And we're going to solve. So 500 times 8.75 equals 4,375 divided by the number in the same diagonal as the variable equals 4,375. Since this was just asking us what would you pay in sales tax, we can leave it as that amount. We don't have to add it to the original. Number 2, the items that you purchased at Kohl's totaled $125.50. If the sales tax was 7.5%, how much would you pay in sales tax? What would be the final total of your bill? So again, I'm going to set up my blank proportion. What numbers are given to us? The percentage rate is 7.5%. The total of what they purchased at Kohl's was $125.50. We are solving for the part. So I'm going to multiply 125.50 times 7.5, which equals 941.25 divided by 100 equals 9.4125, which is about $9.42 when you round. So the first part in our answer is the tax would be $9.41. And then we'd add that to our original cost. So 125.50 plus 941 gives us a total bill of $131.91. So both answers there. Next one, after a great meal, you left your waiter a 15% tip. If that tip you left was $7.50, what had been the cost of your meal? So we are working backwards here. So we can still set up our blank proportion. We're looking at 15%, but this time we are given the tip. We aren't given the bill. So we are solving for the total bill given our tip of $7.50. So let's solve this proportion. We're doing 750 times 100, which equals 750. And then we are going to divide by the number in the same diagonal as the variable, which is 15, and that equals 50. So the cost of our meal was $50. And you can always go back, plug the 50 in here and see if that would give you $7.50. Number 4, a snowmobile priced at $2,800 is on sale for 20% off. The sales tax rate is 8.25%. What is the sale price including tax? All right. Actually, I'm going to look at this one really quickly. All right, what we're going to do is we're actually going to cross this one off because we haven't done discount yet. So moving on to number 5. The Hurd family went to dinner at Consols. Mr. Hurd ordered a meal for $6.25. Mrs. Hurd ordered a meal for $7.50. The two children ordered individual pizzas for $4.99 each. The sales tax was 7.25%, and they left a 15% tip. How much was the total bill? So there's a lot of information given to us there. We have a meal for $6.25, a meal for $7.50, and then we have 2 meals for $4.99. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add these up. $6.25 plus $7.50 plus $4.99 plus another $4.99, which gives us a total bill of $23.73. So now we can take into account the other numbers that are given to us. So our 7.25% sales tax and our 15% tip. So first, I'm going to calculate the tax. So I'm going to set up my blank proportion. We have a 7.25% tax, and our total bill was $23.73. Now I have my proportion that I can solve. So if I do 7.25 times 22.73, I get 23.73, sorry. 23.73. 172.04. When you round, divided by 100 gives us a tax of about $1.72. The second part is our tip. So remember, most importantly, our tip is on the pre-tax amount. So we are leaving a 15% tip. This amount right here, we're not adding in the tax yet. We're still doing it on that pre-tax amount, which is $23.73, and solving for that amount. So we've got our percent proportion set up. I'm going to multiply 23.73 times 15, which equals 355.95, and dividing by 100 gives us $3.56 when we round. So our total bill, if I go back over here, we had $23.73 plus $1.72 for tax plus $3.56 for tip. If I add that all up, $23.73 plus $1.72 plus $3.56 gives you $29.01 for your total bill. And then we're not going to do number 6.